All right. All right, folks, several women from the Young Women in Leadership program had the opportunity to be a part of a historic all-woman parliament sitting held last week, Tuesday. Join us to speak about their experience are members of the Young Women in Leadership Program Initiative. Members Antoinette Allen in black beside me, who is the Speaker of the House, and the Leader of the Opposition, Genevieve Richards. Morning to you both.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Before I get to how and why, how were you chosen as the Speaker of the House and you Leader of the Opposition? Let me start with you, Antoinette. Who chose you as leader?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
the program runs for about 3 months, whereby we did a few workshops, and that took us into a 1-minute video where we made a contribution to Parliament, and that was mostly how we were.
And you sounded like the Speaker.
Right.
Genevieve, how you got the Leader of the Opposition?
So it's a similar process, but what happened was that we were nominated by different organizations and different ministries. So I was nominated by Youth and Culture, and also for the opposition leader now you have to submit your 1-minute video contribution, and then based on your contribution they would see which role best fits you.
Okay.
So that's how I got it.
Yep. Jenny, I'll stay with you. This doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are politicians or you are going to be politicians. That's not where this is coming from.
Okay.
I'm asking.
No, not necessarily. So basically it's just for young women to show their leadership skills. So it's basically a holistic development program instead of just a political development program.
Okay.
So it focuses on different aspects such as professionalism, transformational leadership, and just growth overall.
Yeah. Antoinette, what was it like for you? Because we were talking before, this is not the first time you went to Gordon House, but you went for another reason. But what was the Speaker of the House like for you? They're giving it trouble if you say, hey, hold on a little bit.
Well, I was amazed and pleasantly surprised, because the day before we had a practice sitting, and I saw much of the things that could have happened, but to my surprise, nothing didn't happen. I actually felt like I was over prepared because I've read the standing orders and other materials right, to get myself prepared, but I didn't actually use it that much. The only thing that I employed was the use of time, because there was a sitting coming up after
So they can only speak a certain amount.
Right.
Did you see the adults in Parliament before all of this?
Yes, we did. Okay. They were coming in just as
No, I mean before you guys went in. Did you go and sit?
Oh, yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, a number of them were there, and at one point there was a suspension of the sitting. The House Speaker had to move for the suspension of the sitting in order to facilitate members of Parliament and other officials to make remarks. So yes, there were a number of them during the sitting.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant before you guys did it.
So before
did you go to Parliament and see how the politicians?
We did not. But what we had was training sessions, and during those training sessions, we would have seen the procedure, and would have also had different members of Parliament to speak with us within those training sessions. So we had like Senator Natalie, then we had Senator Morris. Right. So they came and they spoke to us on the procedures, and we also watched it, online, and we did our own research as well.
Sometimes as adults, we are here saying, no, so they must behave better than that, and them quarrel. And you guys, Madam Speaker, did they behave themselves?
Yes, they have.
Nobody wasn't cussing and...
No, it was just really an issue of time, because the time was very limited, and my colleagues are brilliant people. They had so much to say, so the time was just really the issue.
Jenny just sounds like she's going to be a politician and she'll go on to, what did you speak about, if anything?
Okay, so what I spoke about is that a need for us to stop looking at employability and for us to develop a business model to encourage persons for deployment. So my business model was a cooperative, as I suggested for Jamaica to have a cooperative business model, because the thing is that most women and also men as well included, we are employable. We have the degrees. Yes, you have a lot of students. They have the degrees, they have the training and the skills, but yet still there is no job. So what we should focus on is our cooperative business model. So what that business model will do is that you would be like owner, so you won't be laid off, because we see it in the banking industry. We see it all over in the tech industry. So that business model will help Jamaica to go forward. So that's what we propose to ensure economic sustainability and also development.
No, so it only sound like politics. It only sound like politics.
In the making.
In the making. I said at the top, Young Women in Leadership Program. Tell me about that program. What's that program about?
So Young Women in Leadership Program, so what it stems from is Caribbean Women in Leadership Program. So you have different chapters in different Caribbean countries. So they just came to Jamaica, so they were in Trinidad and they were in St. Lucia, and it's a partnership between Parliament, and it's also a partnership between Canada and Par America. So what they do is that they want to introduce young women to transformational leadership. So they're trying to go from different Caribbean countries. So they did St. Lucia and the others. So now that we have a chapter in Jamaica, and this was the first in Jamaica. And I think we did well. We represented well.
We did.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, the future Speaker of the House, for real. And the future, I don't want to leader of the opposition because I don't know who she like, but she's going to be, well, she's already a leader, a young woman in our leadership program. Congrats to you both. Very impressed.
Thank you.
What are you guys doing now, by the way? Where are you?
Well, I'm currently a consultant restorative justice facilitator with the Ministry of Justice.
Consultant.
Right.
Awesome.
I'm a final year accounting and management studies student, and I also serve as the external affairs chairperson for the UWI Guild.
No, sir. Two future Prime Minister.
Thank you so much.
Two future Prime
much.
Minister. Antoinette first and then Geneva second. Great to see you guys. Fantastic.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so much.
I'm so impressed. I'm so very impressed. Young Women in Leadership Program Initiative members Antoinette Allen and Geneva Richards. All right, more on Smile, but coming up after this, the second edition of News in 5. Stay with us, please. Soon come.